Baker, swim dot, fires and scores! Skipping a step, behind the back! Pass, the extra look, and the goal! Shot on goal and good.
This is Farmingdale High School, and today it's Varsity Media Sports Network presenting boys lacrosse. It is Farmingdale hosting Southside, and it is a huge matchup, and as you can see, it's a matchup of two of the top 10 teams in the Varsity Media Sports Network rankings. A tremendous game between 6-0 Southside and 5-0 Farmingdale. Well, hi again, everyone. I'm Peter Schwartz, and I'm joined by Deer Park head coach James Curcio. And James, we're ready for a fabulous matchup of boys lacrosse here today.
Yeah, today is going to be awesome. I mean, you get two undefeated teams, and you get them going at each other head-to-head. A lot of bragging rights. Farmingdale, a well-established program here in Nassau County, and Southside, a strong young team.
And as you can see, the Sweet 16 by Varsity Media Boys Lacrosse, the rankings, and you have number 8 Farmingdale at 5-0 and number 9 Southside at 6-0. Here's a look at how we got to this game today, visiting Southside, coming in with a record of 6-0 and 3-0 in the conference, and they've done it thanks to 3 one-goal wins, including 2 in overtime. And they started their season with that big win over Syosset, and they're coming off a big win over Floral Park.
The Cyclones are battle-tested.
And we look at Farmingdale. Yes, it's a Daler delight, and Farmingdale off to a 5-0 start on the season, and the Dalers come in having an outstanding season so far, coming off of a crushed East Meadow 17-2, and they've had it, aside from their first game of the season, a 5-4 win. They've cruised in their last 4 with big wins over Cary, Calhoun, Bethpage, and East Meadow. So 5-0 for Farmingdale, 6-0 for Southside to start the season. Both lineups filled with tremendous talent, and we can only pick one impact player for each team. We'll start with visiting Southside, and their impact player is Michael Aiello, a sophomore attackman, 10 goals, 7 assists, and 17 points, and he is off to an outstanding start this season.
Anytime you can get a guy like Michael Aiello, it's going to help your team out. He's a leader on the offense, and obviously putting up 17 points this year, he's somebody that they can count on.
And he is a sophomore. We'll look for him, number 5, throughout the course of the game. And when you look at Farmingdale, you look no further than between the pipes and their senior goalie, Danny Seaman, an all-county selection a year ago and a member of the Newsday Top 100 of 2022. In talking to Mike Hungerford, the head coach of Farmingdale this week, made it clear, couldn't stop talking about this young man, a lacrosse junkie, but also referred to him, in his opinion, as the best goalie on Long Island.
I guess we're going to find out today, because Southside has a good offense with a lot of young players, but anytime I think you have a team with a goalie captain, it brings a different dynamic to leadership. He's, what you would say the quarterback on any team. He's seeing everything. He's seeing the offense. He's seeing the defense. He actually gets to watch a little bit and not only play. So,
and he is committed to St. John's for next year, and he is a captain, a senior, Danny Seaman. Well, let's take a look now at the starting lineups for both teams. And again, I mentioned a star-studded cast for both teams. We'll start with visiting Southside, and you mentioned an outstanding offense that they have, and you look at their attack. We talked about Michael Aiello, but obviously Ryan Mayerhofer's got 12 goals, 4 assists, 16 points up front. Jack Mayerhofer and Brady West in the midfield. A back line that is very, very tough, very, very talented, including Patrick Erickson and Pat Mullen, and they have an outstanding goalie of their own as well, Tommy Gentile.
Yep, Southside is built, and they're battle-tested. They've already had those big games this year, and a lot of teams haven't, so I think they're going to be ready for this one.
And when you look at Farmingdale and their outstanding lineup, we talked about Danny Seaman, but also up front, Ryan Woodland, an outstanding player, a captain, committed to going to Hofstra next year, has also played football, and he's a guy that we're going to be spending a lot of time looking at today. When
you look through Farmingdale's lineup, they have a lot of those football, lacrosse players, so you expect them to come out and be physical with a younger team.
And in the midfield, that group led by Tomaso Ramos, Chris Bergerson, Kyle Wilson. On the back end, Ryan Thomas, Matt Pantorno, and Anthony Bolello. Bolello, a Newsday Top 100 selection of 2022 as well. You talk a lot about these football lacrosse combinations. He's another one of those.
Yeah, Farmingdale with the 3 Newsday Top 100 guys is big for them. I think they're getting to a point as a program where they're having that big resurgence again. So I'm excited to see them play today. I think the biggest thing to watch for, which is going to determine how this game goes, is going to be at the X with the faceoffs.
Now, while some may seem that Danny Seaman of Farmingdale is the best goalie on Long Island, Tommy Gentile certainly no slouch himself, and it brings us to an outstanding goaltender matchup that we're going to see here in this game today. Danny Seaman for Farmingdale and Tommy Gentile for Southside. And you look at Gentile, he's committed to Boston University. He comes up with a lot of big saves, quick, agile, and we talked a little bit about Danny Seaman before, but we're going to be treated to seeing Tommy Gentile today as well.
For sure. I think these guys are prepared. Obviously, they're ready to go today, and you got one junior and one senior, so this isn't their first rodeo.
Now, I'm very excited to talk about the face-off guys, and I'm a little partial to them because my son's a face-off guy, so that's why I was very excited. We're going to talk about the face-off guys at the top of the show today, but obviously another, 2 outstanding Fogos that we're going to see for Southside. Michael Melkonian, a sophomore who's winning 68.9% of his face-offs, and Craig Mangio, who really has not been doing face-offs all that long since playing lacrosse, but he's a student of the face-offs. He's winning 69%, and it doesn't get much better than these 2 guys we're going to see here today.
No, they're both right around that 70% mark, and in lacrosse, 7 out of 10 face-offs, that's domination. You're getting more possessions for your offense, so it's going to be a big battle between both of them. Mangio, you said newer to the game, newer to the face-off X. We'll see how he goes versus a younger player who may have been facing off a little bit longer than him.
We'll step aside for a moment. When we come back, the opening face-off, Southside and Farmingdale. You are watching the Varsity Media Sports Network.
An event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event? Look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Peter Schwartz, James Curcio back at Farmingdale High School, getting set for Farmingdale and Southside here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Bring your game to life with Varsity Media SportsCast. Announcers, instant replay, multiple cameras, and graphics. It's great for rival games, senior day, and general promotion of your team. So contact us to book a sportscast, 516-403-2050, or visit varsitymedia.net. This is a big week for a lot of schools across Long Island. A lot of schools are obviously are off, but the teams schedule these non-conference games, and obviously this is the way you draw up a non-conference game when you have 2 top 10 teams in our rankings, and they're both undefeated, 6-0 and 5-0, and it doesn't get much better than what we're going to see here this afternoon and into this evening.
No, I would expect it to be extremely competitive, up and down, a little bit of chess match between 2 coaches who obviously have a great experience in the game and the high school level out here. So it's going to be a good one for sure.
2 teams at the middle of the field, shaking hands, going through instructions from the officials, and we are moments away from the start of this game. So we're going to have Tommy Gentile in goal for Southside down to our left, and Danny Seaman in goal for Farmingdale down to our right. And at the faceoff dot, it's Michael Melkonian and Craig Mangio. And it's going to be Southside going from left to right on your TV screen here in the first quarter. And it's Farmingdale, the home team, going from right to left. And off the draw, it's Melkonian winning it cleanly. And it's Southside going to work the first possession of the game. On it there, Brady West. And there's Cole DiPietro, the son of head coach Steve DiPietro. Talent up and down this lineup. DiPietro had a game-tying goal earlier this season against Massapequa that led to an overtime win. Cyclones continue to move the ball around. Jack Meyerhofer is in the middle there. Ball played behind the goal, and it's tipped in front, goes back behind the goal, and it's recovered there by Michael Aiello. Saved. It looks like Farmingdale's going to pick it up, and they do.
That was a really good look on the back door. They just missed it.
So the Dalers have it for the first time in this game. Kyle Wilson races it up the field and now into Southside territory. And the Dalers will go to work in their white uniforms on their home field with their first possession of the game. On the left side is Bergerson. Chris Bergerson, a junior, a Mercy D2 verbal commit for this coming fall.
You're going to be saying that a lot with the Farmingdale team.
I mean, it's loaded. You saw the sheet that Mike Hungerford sent us out this week with all that information on it. I mean, it's up and down the lineup. There's a shot and a goal. And Farmingdale takes the lead. Ryan Woodland. We didn't get a chance to talk about him a lot just yet, but no surprise there that he opens up the scoring. He's headed to Hofstra, and he's a captain on this Farmingdale team.
Yeah, so they worked the off-ball cut, a little pick, cut to the middle of the field, nice lefty finish, and he's their go-to guy for Farmingdale. You know, big guy, 6'5", captain of the lacrosse team, all-county kind of kid. So, I mean, that's what you're going to get with him. You're going to go to your go-to guys early, the main features on your team. His
17th goal of the season to go along with 5 assists and now 22 points. Also plays basketball off the draw. Loose near midfield, and it's Southside picking up that loose ball, but an errant pass there. And Farmingdale's going to get it right back with the 1-0 lead. Anthony Bolello took it across midfield, and now Farmingdale has it all set up. Tomaso Ramos on the left side. And the Dalers with that 1-0 lead moving around. Matt Cangelosi out there, number 4. Brendan O'Keefe. Whereas a lot of these Farmingdale players, not just the starters or the second stringers, we're going to see a lot of these Farmingdale players. We expect most of them that are in uniform to get some playing time in this non-conference game today, at least according to Mike Hungerford during the week.
Yeah, Farmingdale on offense just went into a little bit of an invert, bringing the midfields behind the goal.
Pass out in front and a score!
Good
Goal by James Hickes, his 9th goal of the season, and Farmingdale takes the 2-0 lead.
So they gain a little bit of attention attacking the net behind from X. They just catch guys ball watching. He's in a nice little pocket in the middle of the field. It wasn't even that close of a shot. He was just able to get his hands free and really place the ball in that low right corner.
James Hickes is a senior, and he is committed to Farmingdale State this fall. His brother, Rich, currently plays at Hofstra, so you can tell lacrosse is in the blood in that family.
Yeah, and Farmingdale State's a really nice D3 school. They've done a really good job over the last few years, and they just keep improving in their conference too.
Now off the draw, and again it's Melkonian comes up with the win. And they play it back to Gentile, and Southside will get things going, trying to get on the board, but Farmingdale up 2-0 here in the early going.
And this is a young Southside team, so you do want to weather the storm here, and maybe if you're not so confident with what's going on in the game right now, you definitely want to get a good possession. So try and get the ball to some short stick matchups so you don't have Farmingdale's key long poles on you.
Ball jarred loose for a moment, but picked up again by Brady West. Southside retains possession. These two teams played last year, James, with Southside falling to Farmingdale 8-4, and based on what we've seen so far this season with their records, I would think we'd probably wind up with a closer game than that.
Yeah, I would think so too. It's really just about Southside and having the confidence to stay in the game. I mean, lacrosse is a game of runs, so it's going to happen. You're going to go down a goal or two.
And there's a miscue. Ball is out of bounds, and Farmingdale gets it back. Southside not looking very fluid here in the early going, but still obviously very early. 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. A 2-0 Farmingdale lead on their home field.
And I always say this, and maybe it's just me that believes it, but you got to take into account the break. The game later in the day. What time did these kids come to the school? Were they really ready and focused up? Farmingdale's the home team, so it's almost a little bit easier. You're not getting on the bus. You might be able to come an hour and a half later. So all those little things definitely matter, at least in the start of the game.
Here's Kyle Wilson, number 40. We've got a flag down, delay penalty coming up on Southside. Matt Levantini is out there, number 20 for Farmingdale. He's got the ball in his stick right now.
Farmingdale with a nice job trying to create some offense in the substitution game.
Again, flag is down on Southside. Farmingdale with possession and a 2-0 lead. There is Woodland again. And the shot is deflected in front. And the whistle blows, and we're going to have a penalty on Southside.
Offsides.
It's interesting. You talked about the break. I talked to both coaches about that this week, and they both admit it's a little weird when you don't have school. Kids don't have all day to see their teammates in school talk about it, and then they're just showing up for the game. It is a little different dynamic when you're playing games when school's not in session.
Yes, and from a coaching perspective, are you practicing in the morning? Are you practicing in the afternoon? Are these kids getting up early? Are they eating breakfast? It's just a different routine. They're out of their normal routine, so it does impact them for sure.
So Farmingdale man up on the offsides penalty. They work the ball around. There's Woodland, number 13. Now he'll go down low. And Farmingdale being very patient, working it around. They try backdoor, but doesn't work out, and it's picked up by Southside. Luke Schwartzberg, their long stick midfielder, picked up that ball, and he's going to head off, and now Southside has the ball back.
Yeah, if you're the short stick for Southside, you got to work and get this ball, kill the penalty.
And there's an interception. Nice play there. It's Farmingdale with the steal, and they throw it on net.
Wow.
And Gentile had to make a nice play to prevent that from going in. Southside back the other way.
Yeah, when he was clearing that ball, that midi was going east to west and not coming back towards the goalie, so they were able to intercept it. But when you're man down, if you're the short stick that's out there, you got to make it your mission to get the ball and out of the goalies and Longpole's hands. Chris
Vanko is out there on the left side for Southside. And now Michael Aiello with the ball, number 5. Now our impact player for Southside. And there's another errant pass. And it's another turnover. And the early game jitters, clearly with Southside, obviously still a long way to go. But obviously that's got to be a concern right now for Steve DiPietro, the head coach.
Yeah, you just played man down. You got it back on your offensive end, and you turn it over. That's rough for the defense.
Loose ball, middle of the field. Nice play there. And a nice scoop as Southside comes straight back the other way on the turnover. Vanko with the shot, and there's a save by Seaman.
I think he hit the pipe. He was in there, man.
Southside has it back. Owen West on the far side. Takes it into the corner, sorry.
Good take by Vanko. Here you see Southside slowing up the game a little bit, inverting the short stick. Should give them a little bit of time.
In front, Aiello with the shot that goes wide of the mark. Race for the ball, and it's going to stay with Southside.
That looked like the play Farmingdale run, just a little off ball cut right to the center.
Ryan Meyerhofer behind the net, and now they work it around. Here's Jack Meyerhofer. Jack is a junior. They're both juniors, junior twin brothers.
There's a lot of siblings on this field today,
yes,
too.
there are.
I know that.
It's Cole DiPietro behind the net. DiPietro looking, throws it in front, and the pass is picked off. Farmingdale back the other way. Still loose as it was knocked to the ground. They fight for it. And let's see. Ball is chipped towards the south side of the field. And on it right there, Patrick Erickson, the senior, makes a nice play to get the possession back.
That's a big clear. It looked like for a second there that they had Meyerhofer. I'm not sure if they saw him, but he was right there in front of the crease.
I asked head coach Steve DiPietro during the week, you mentioned the multiple brother combinations, but having the Meyerhofer brothers and the West brothers, and there's a shot that goes wide, it's going to stay with Southside. I asked him about that, and he said he's had brother combinations before. He doesn't remember if he's had two brother combinations at the same time, and if he hasn't had two brother combinations this good.
Yeah, and Farmingdale, actually, they have a brother combination too. They have the Mangio brothers. One's a face-off guy and one's a attackman. I mean, you got I think that's the recipe for success now. You get two siblings, two brothers on the same team. You look at Mount Sinai and the Spalinas, and there you go.
And there's a shot and a goal. Brady West setting up a shot and a goal.
Yeah,
and Southside on the board, 2-1. Take a look at this again.
So Farmingdale got a little bit lost on the slide there. They actually slid. Two guys were on the ball, and nobody recovered. It was a great pass, but he made the shot count.
It was Brady West setting up his brother Owen West for his 9th goal of the season.
See, speaking of siblings
and
brothers.
There you go. There you go.
I'm telling you, man, that brings a different dynamic to the team. Competitiveness.
So older brother Brady setting up younger brother Owen, and the Cyclones on the board at 2-1. And off the draw, Southside has it again. So Southside with a chance to tie the game here. Schwartzberg plays it off in behind the net to Ryan Meyerhofer. And Southside will work it around. The long stick midfielder for Southside, Luke Schwartzberg, talked a lot about him during our season opening broadcast against Syosset. A really talented long stick midfielder, a senior. He's going to Muhlenberg College, and he's caused 7 turnovers so far this season. He's obviously another player to watch today.
For sure. LSM is one of those game changer positions. If you have an LSM that can create some offense for you, even the cause turnovers, those are going to get you more possession. So it is creating offense in a sense too, but it's such an important position. Those little niches, the face-offs, the LSM, the goalies, that makes a big difference on your team. Southside's in an open set. They look like they're taking their time.
Here's Mindel, and he throws it in behind the goal to Ryan Meyerhofer, and Meyerhofer will take it behind the net. Here's a shot that goes wide of the mark. It's going to stay with Southside, and that was a shot by Owen West from the far side.
Farmingdale's able to get a switch back. They had a short stick behind the net playing defense again.
Michael Aiello will start it up here for Southside, cradling it, getting it out in front, fires a shot that goes wide of the mark. Seaman may have gotten a piece of it, but it goes out, and it'll stay with Southside. Farmingdale with the 2-1 lead. They scored the first 2 goals. Southside has responded with one of their own, and we have a 1-goal game. Billy Moore. Owen West in the corner. Owen West has the lone Southside goal. To Mindel, and now to Venko. Venko fires a shot over top of the net. It's going to go out of bounds, but it's going to stay with Southside as Owen West is right there to retain possession.
So many times you see those sidearm shots down the alley, and sometimes I want to grab their stick, tell them to shoot overhand because you get a better angle. The sidearm shot really limits your angle.
Here's a feed in front, a shot that goes wide of the mark.
Good ground ball.
Aiello tried to come up with it, but he was beaten to the play by Anthony Bolello. And you see Anthony Bolello on Michael Aiello, and the scouting report on number 50 for Farmingdale, Bolello, he is always guarding and defending the other team's best offensive player, and no surprise right there with the job he just did on Aiello.
Well, Farmingdale has those numbers. If you see somebody wearing 50 or 40, you know what kind of player they are.
And Farmingdale gets possession. They call for a timeout with 47 seconds to go in the opening quarter, and Farmingdale is up by a score of 2-1.
Good time out there by Coach Hungerford, too.
We'll take a break. We'll come back on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Peter Schwartz, James Curcio back at Farmingdale High School, where Farmingdale leads Southside by a score of 2-1. Let's look at some players to watch first for Southside. And we've mentioned a lot of these guys already today, James. Michael Melkonian, their face-off guy, and also Luke Schwartzberg, their long stick midfielder, and Brady West, their outstanding midfielder. Three really good players.
Yeah, Melkonian hopefully can keep them in the game today with Farmingdale. If that can be a strength for Southside here, they can come out with a win.
And there's Kyle Wilson, a midfielder, as we look at Farmingdale's players to watch, along with Anthony Balella, who we've talked about a lot. And also their long stick midfielder, Jordan Smeichel, a senior who is going to play football at Rutgers. And these are all 2022 senior captains for Farmingdale.
Yeah, I think they said Smeichel is trying to walk on over there, but I mean, the fact that you are that athletic that you could play football at Rutgers, that's very nice to have on your team. So
Farmingdale with possession after the timeout. And the Dalers with a 2-1 lead and the ball.
Southside's in a zone. That's a good move. I like that as a coach. 47 seconds left in the quarter. Try and come out in something different. Throw the offense off.
And they work it around. Here's Ramos. Now to Cangelosi up top. Back to Ramos. They work it around. Again, here's Cangelosi. Cangelosi up top. Tries to dodge a check. Fires one as we hit the end of the first quarter. Great defense by Southside to close the quarter.
Yeah, Southside's fired up. I mean, that's a combination of great coaching and great execution. You come out, you throw a zone at the offense, throw them off, and Farmingdale's not able to execute on the timeout in the last possession.
We've played one quarter. The score, Farmingdale leading Southside 2-1 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate your resume from others. Stand out from the crowd. We'll help showcase your talents. Contact Varsity Media today and order a college recruiting video.
Peter Schwartz, James Curcio back at Farmingdale High School. Farmingdale with a 2-1 lead into the second quarter, and off the draw, Melkonian wins it clean and gets the pass over to Owen West, who fires a shot, and Danny Seaman makes the save. Southside outshot Farmingdale 7-5 in that opening quarter, and we saw Southside, James, come on there at the end of that first quarter. We talked about not having school this week and the players being on a different schedule. Maybe it just took Southside a little while to get going.
I think that with the combination of it being a younger team, both of those dynamics is, you have to weather the storm. But then you look at the games that Southside's been in already this year, and they've been in these battles. They've been on the road already, so they're tested. So they hung around the first quarter. They come out and kind of throw the last punch by throwing the zone out there, and they're in the game 2-1.
Matt Cangelosi out there, number 4, just got a return pass. Tries to take it towards the net, pulls it up.
Comes the wing dodge. If you're that D-midi, you want to get up a little bit higher and not give him the middle of the field there.
Cangelosi still with it. And now here's Kyle Wilson, one of our players to watch for Farmingdale, as we showed you a few moments ago. And now Matt Cangelosi. Southside looks like they're playing with a little more poise now, especially on the defensive end here. Very, very disciplined, not giving Farmingdale. There, look, there's a steal.
Little yard sale.
Tommy Gentile picks up the loose ball, and he'll distribute. And it's the Cyclones, down by a goal, but there's an errant pass. Still bouncing in the midfield area. And Southside's going to, oh, still loose. Who wants it?
You got to come up with that. If you're Southside, you just had a long pull. The nice takeaway check.
And the ball's going to slide
there you
to
go.
the far sideline out of bounds. They'll stay with Southside.
That was a real nice poke check.
And now the Cyclones on it once again. Here's Jack Meyerhofer in the middle. To Cole DePietro. Came into this game with 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points. And he's got the ball again. Now Jack Meyerhofer. Brady West moving in. Fires a shot. He scores!
Really good shot by
Brady West with his 12th goal of the season. And the game is tied at 2.
That was a really nice shot. Split dodge right to left, started off, and then he just does the same exact move, gets his hands free from just inside of 10 and puts it in the perfect spot.
A rough start for Southside to this game, falling behind 2-0, but they have come back to tie the game at 2, and a goal for each of the West brothers.
The brother combination, it's back, man. It's all over Long Island now.
And we've got a violation on the faceoff. It's going to be on Michael Melkonian. And Farmingdale gets the ball off the draw on the violation.
Farmingdale had numbers there for a second.
Tommaso Ramos dropped it, picked it up. Now here's Bergeson. Bergeson, one of the hardest workers on the team, according to head coach Mike Hungerford. And he's got the ball right here. Side of the cage. Thought about going towards the slot.
Good defense by Lozito there for Southside.
O'Keefe. Back to Bergerson. Thought again about a shot, but instead threw it into the corner. And here's Woodland. Roughed up in front of the cage. And Southside comes away with it. Schwartzberg.
Looked like they could have had him for something. I mean, I like the no call in this kind of game. You know, it's a big game. It's a physical game. So if you don't see it directly right away, right in front of your face, the no call is a better move on that.
Do you think the officials are cognizant of it being a non-conference game? Is that something they think about where, you know what, if that was a conference game, maybe that doesn't play well, but a non-conference game, you let it go?
I don't know. I think they know how important this game is for both teams, even though it's non-conference. I mean, it's 2 undefeateds, so the streaks are alive. So I think, and even the officials, they kind of have that let-it-play attitude. That's the way it looks early.
Here's Mindel. Takes a run down the right side. Now Vanko. There, Billy Moore. Takes it behind the goal. Took a hit from behind.
Goes another invert. Here comes a slide. Probably have numbers on the backside.
Again, Vanko to Owen West. Owen West tried to sneak towards the net. Takes it back outside. And Vanko was able to get it over to Mindel. Mindel moving in. Jump shot. And goes behind the goal. Southside still with it. And again, here's Vanko. And there's a shot from great distance there by Billy Moore. Goes wide out of bounds, but it'll stay with Southside.
Good shot by Billy Moore. He had an opportunity to face dodge right there and push the net a little bit, get in that crease area. But this is another good possession for Southside.
Mindel holding it near midfield. Now Vanko. And Billy Moore. Moore to the side of the net. Good defense by Farmingdale as they have to keep it behind. And there's an errant pass that goes out of bounds, and it'll be a turnover. So good defense by Farmingdale leads to a mistake by Southside.
That's actually 2 passes by Southside that went behind the net, and it actually went off the attackman's stick. I don't even know if the pass was bad. I think it was just mishandled.
2-2 game here in the second quarter. 6.5 minutes to go. Windy, late afternoon here at Farmingdale High School. Here's Kyle Wilson.
Kyle's wearing that number 40.
They call him part of the Great 40 Club in Farmingdale. Great players in the school's history that have worn that number. And he's the latest in that long line of greats, of Dalers that wore number 40. He wants to stay local. He's not committed to a college. We'll see what happens with him where he decides to go. He takes that shot right on, and Gentile makes the save.
Local's good, too. There's a lot of good schools here on Long Island, academically, and obviously that have lacrosse, too. So
now Southside with it. Again, a 2-2 game. Southside scored the last 2 to tie this one up. Farmingdale scored the first 2. Owen West.
now Farmingdale's starting to put the pressure on with their poles.
Now Brady West to Jack Meyerhofer. And Southside goes to work with Cole DiPietro. DiPietro. Here's a shot, a save. Nice shot there by Brady West.
DiPietro's really shifty on those dodges from up top.
Danny Seaman making that save, and now he's feeling a little pressure there from Owen West, and he's just going to fire it down the field, and he's going to fire it right to a Southside player, James Sullivan. And here's a shot by Schwartzberg right on.
Great save.
And Seaman makes the save.
On Farmingdale's clear, for whatever reason, I'm not seeing any middies in the middle of the field. It almost looks like everybody's out to the side, and it's making it tougher for them to clear right now.
Schwartzberg put the pressure on Seaman. And Farmingdale able to clear the zone. Terry Quinn. And Bergerson has it.
This is a big possession here for Farmingdale with 4 minutes left.
You want to stay with us at halftime. Our expected special guest, Mike Nelson from the Long Island Metro Lacrosse Foundation. That's an organization that does so many great things for lacrosse on Long Island, and a big supporter of the Varsity Media Sports Network. And we're going to talk to Mike coming up at halftime. Chris Bergerson sends it in behind the goal. Turnaround shot there by Ryan Woodland. Goes wide of the mark.
Erickson threw a poke check there, and it kind of got stuck.
And Jack Agers behind the goal. Bergerson heads down the slot, fires what he scores! Chris Bergerson with his third goal of the season, and the junior gives Farmingdale the lead at 3-2.
It's a really nice dodge because he's starting it only 20 yards, 15 yards away from the net. So he's already in good position. You need one move, and he's able to get his hands free with a great shot. Lazito's got to get a little bit further out, and if he's already so low and established, Lazito can shut him off or push out so that pass isn't so easy, or he's got to get further away from the net before he starts his dodge.
We've talked a lot about great lacrosse families, and the Bergerson family is another great lacrosse family. Chris's sister Kelly plays at Quinnipiac, and his father was a coach at one time at MacArthur High School in Levittown. So that is definitely another family where lacrosse is in the blood.
It's good to see. It's good to see. MacArthur's having another good year, too.
And now Farmingdale off the draw. They have the possession again in a 3-2 lead. Kyle Wilson, high slot, thought about it for a second, but gave it back to O'Keefe.
I like the offense that Farmingdale's trying to generate off the substitution. It may seem a little ticky-tacky right now, but one or two of those a game will get you the win.
That's O'Keefe behind the goal.
And Lazito's on defense again, so he's got to be a little bit tired. He's been getting dodged on the whole quarter.
Yeah, Lazito's been out there a lot. Here's a swing in front, a shot save. O'Keefe is robbed by Tommy Gentile in front. And now Gentile is pressured, gets rid of the ball to Schwartzberg behind the goal.
Lazito behind the back.
And Southside breathing a sigh of relief there with a couple of good chances for Farmingdale. And Farmingdale pressuring the goalie, and now we've got a whistle and a timeout, it looks like, called by Southside as they were able to get possession off the clear.
That was great stuff by Lazito. I've played a lot of D-Midi coming up in the game of lacrosse, so when I see good D-Midi work, I appreciate it. So Lazito behind the net, he's able to get a lift, throw off the shot a little bit, goes to clear the ball, get some pressure, puts the stick behind his back.
Well, if you're enjoying this game here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, how about these three games coming up this week? You've got St. Anthony's and Manhasset. That is tomorrow at 6 o'clock. You've got number 2 against number 4. And then on Thursday, a morning contest, boys side, Syosset and Kellenberg. And then you've got on Saturday a morning game, West Islip and Bayport Blue Point. 3 great matchups coming up this week right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Yeah, you guys have done an awesome job getting all these good games covered and giving other kids
I didn't do anything. That's Ben.
Yeah, I guess that's more behind the scenes. But it's awesome because it's given a lot of the other high school athletes an opportunity to see teams that they would never see. If you're practicing or you have a game right now, how would you be able to see it? You know, and the more you watch, the better you get at this game.
So some great matchups coming up, including this one, and I've been excited about this one for a couple of weeks, obviously, and you see that everything worked out where both teams were undefeated, and you know, as the great Michael Buffer said, one of the O's has got to go.
Yeah.
So somebody's losing today.
I was texting some old teammates, actually. Some of them played for Farmingdale, some of them played for Southside, and they knew about this game, and they probably graduated 15 years ago, so.
So this has been, you know, as advertised, Farmingdale jumped off out to that 2-0 lead. Southside took a while to get their feet under them a little bit, but they came back, and now we've got a 3-2 game for Farmingdale and less than 2 minutes to go until halftime. So this has definitely been, you know, as advertised.
And this is one of those games where it's not only going to come down to the play of the guys on the field, but it's going to be the X's and O's with the coaching staff. And DiPietro's made some great moves so far.
Now the Cyclones looking to get the equalizer. Mindel straight up. Ryan Meyerhofer on the far side, now in behind the net. And they work it all the way back out to Mindel. West with the shot, he scores! Brady West with his second goal of the game. And Southside has tied the game at 3.
That's a big man-up goal for Southside.
Look at it again. Good patience here by Southside working it around.
That's just good stuff by Brady West. He was open, and he makes it count.
He was all pumped up.
Yeah, you know he's playing and he's ready.
He had an overtime game-winning goal earlier this season against Massapequa. And to show you, what kind of a leader this kid is, he's a senior, and he's committed to going to Loyola. Steve DiPietro, the head coach, there's a timeout called here, but as we finish that note on Brady West, to show you how great of a leader he is, that a couple of times this year, Steve DiPietro has seen him during timeouts and breaks filling up water bottles for his teammates. I mean, he doesn't have to do that. I mean, he's one of the star players on the team. But what does that say about his leadership that he's doing things like that?
That's what great leaders do. They're not above anything, and coming up and being a leader or being a captain on a team, and that's what it's all about. You're willing to do anything for your guys and the guys that you feel you're responsible for. So as a captain, he wants to make sure everyone's getting water or whatever it is. He doesn't mind. He'll do the task.
Let's tell you about college recruiting videos from Varsity Media Sports Network. Here's what we offer custom editing effects, help your players stand out, choice of music, a link for college coaches. And you sign up because it saves you money in college tuition, helps land a spot on the team, and you stand out from competition. So if you're interested, contact us, 516-403-2050, or you email Jeff at varsitymedia.net. If you mention this ad, you get 10% off. College recruiting videos from Varsity Media Sports Network. So 1:25 to go in the second quarter as the sun is peeking out here at Farmingdale High School.
We've had some wacky weather this week between the rain and the wind, and it's nice to see a little sun.
And the sun more than peeking through now. Now it's making a full-fledged appearance here at Farmingdale High School. And that's good news for the spectators who are in the bleachers on either side. A little bit warmer as Southside goes to work with Brady West, Andrew Mindel.
Brady West is going to probably draw the pole for the rest of the game because I think he's got 3 goals already. So
he's got 2, and his brother. You're
okay.
right that a West has all 3. But Brady's got 2, Owen's got 1. So the sibling rivalry is now that Owen has to try and equal him. We'll see if that happens.
You got a competition and a game within the game.
Cole DePietro gets it over to Brady West.
It's like that with me and my brother. So
Mindel, DePietro.
Nice job. They're going to hold for the last possession here.
Inside of 40 seconds to go. And DePietro with it.
Ooh,
now makes a dodge. Nice move there. Gets it over to Brady West. Thought about a shot. Back up top.
I said it before. He's a shifty guy, man.
Clock winding down. Mindel moves to his right. Nothing there. 13 seconds on the clock. Brady West.
Last dodge, and you got to get a shot off.
Down the left side. Looked around.
Shot.
Gets it over to the far side. Now in front. They were looking for Owen West. Ball is still loose. Out in front. DePietro. Last second try. He scores, but that's not going to count. It is after the whistle.
Yeah, I think he still had the ball in his stick. I don't think that's going to count.
Now Southside making a play, but I think that shot definitely came after the whistle, and I don't think there's going to be much of a discussion about this. So we have reached halftime here at Farmingdale High School, and it has been, as I mentioned before, as advertised. Southside 3, Farmingdale 3 on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effects set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050.
Hello. Okay. This should work. Good. I hear it.
What's that?
I hear it.
What?
What did you hear?
I know you said that this one was.
We were having a problem with that one, but
What are we?
Just the events you guys are doing, and
yeah, Mike, whatever you want to hit on, we'll put those graphics up.
Okay.
We can talk about the events or anything like that.
Sound good.
You don't have to read that whole quote. We're just going to show people it.
right.
But when we go to the other one, the list, you could read from the list if you want.
Okay.
All right.
I jotted a few down on my.
Whatever you
How you doing? Good?
We're doing
Feeling
okay.
okay?
Yeah, doing fine. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what lacrosse weather is.
Yeah.
You know, is it summer now? Is it winter now? You know, who knows how to dress? You know.
I have a high-priced statistician over
I
in the other
see him.
booth.
I see him. We'll charge you by the ground ball.
He charges us by the hamburger.
How's the game stuff looking?
Good. They're good. Yeah, everything's good. No complaints.
Good. That was a nice stop by Farmingdale.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, you know.
We got a minute. I mean, I need better shots than that, guys. Give me something. Maybe each team, 1 and 2. Maybe give me some. Okay, somebody's giving me 2.
Give me Southside. One give me Farmingdale.
Stop. The other way. Farmingdale's in that right corner. There's a tight shot there. That's good. No, zoom in, not out. Zoom in. Stop.
A lot of familiar names on both rosters.
40 seconds. So I'm gonna come out.
You don't have to. It doesn't have to be like 10 minutes. 4 minutes is probably plenty for
Okay.
the event in real time to get all the things out. So
Okay.
we'll go right back to the commercial. We'll be right, second half after.
Okay. Welcome back to Farmingdale High School. We're at the half here on the Varsity Media Sports Network with Farmingdale and Southside tied at 3. And it's my pleasure to welcome in our special guest here at halftime from the Long Island Metro Lacrosse Foundation. I have known this guy a long time. We go back a long way to our days with the New York Saints back in the day. Mike Nelson joins us here at halftime. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
That's right, Pete. We do go back a long way. I appreciate you having me in today and having me out of the cold.
It's too long. I probably aged us both with that comment, but in any event, it's good to have you. Before we talk about what's going on with the foundation, what are your thoughts on the first half here with this game?
As I walked up, two very well-coached teams, two guys that Farmingdale just came up with a really nice stop. Both goalies are playing well. You couldn't ask for a better half of lacrosse.
You guys do so many great things with the LI Metro Lacrosse Foundation, promoting the sport across Long Island and helping people out. And I'm going to get to the shootout for soldiers in a minute, but I want to talk about something that happened very recently because at MacArthur High School, you guys put up the Long Island Metro Cup, and you had Duke and Penn in front of almost 4,000 people at MacArthur High School. And it's an event similar to what they used to have at Bethpage High School with the Battle of Bethpage. But that was a great event in front of a huge crowd. It's a wonderful scene to see the stands packed and see a great game that went into overtime. And your organization had a lot to do with bringing that game to MacArthur High School.
Yeah, well, that worked out really well for the foundation. That's something that wasn't planned, as far back as the fall, but it kind of came into existence over the winter time. We worked together well with the facility and with both institutions, and we were able to put on a good game, and hopefully everybody enjoyed it.
And scholarships, such an important part of lacrosse on Long Island. There's so many kids that play lacrosse from a young age. They move up, they play into high school, and now they try to you take it to the next level. Scholarships are a big part of what you guys do.
We do offer scholarships. We do offer two different types of scholarships. We do offer scholarship to boys and girls from Nassau, Suffolk, and New York City. They're basically, they're not basically necessarily the best players on the team, but they represent their institution the best. We also offer diversity, equality, inclusion scholarship now, which obviously, for kids in need and kids that have aspirations to go to college and could use the help.
Talking to Mike Nelson, president of the Long Island Metro Lacrosse Foundation. Also, Lacks Like a Girl tournament. You talk about, inclusion and everybody playing lacrosse, and that means girls too. And we have some great girls lacrosse teams on Long Island. A lot of great players. The sport has grown so much amongst girls who want to play the sport now, and that's obviously something that your group pays close attention to.
So we made an effort when the current executive board came into existence to kind of branch out and pay special attention to in-need programs to let everybody play, girls, boys, adult, young kids. We try to touch every bit of lacrosse, from officiating to playing to coaching, as much as we can.
Wheelchair and special needs lacrosse clinics. We recently, I do the radio for the New York Riptide, and we had a lacrosses for everyone night. And I know you had a little role in some of the things that went on that night with people who are not as fortunate as others and getting a chance to play. But that's not just the case with that particular event. It's all across Long Island where you guys are working hard to try and get everybody playing the sport.
Those programs, the wheelchair program and the special need program, are two programs that are near and dear to my heart. I have a soft spot inside of me for those athletes. They just want to play, and it's up to us to kind of make it happen for them.
I wanted to save Shootout for Soldiers for last because I heard about how great this event was from a number of people. I had never been to it, and I finally got to see it only because my son Bradley played in it this past year.
And he will play again this year.
He will, obviously.
Yes.
If I let him. No, he will. But it was such a great event to see at the Field of Dreams in Massapequa, a 24-hour event that raised money for some very, very important people in our lives. And just tell me a little bit about that event and how much it means and what it brings to the people who need it.
Well, that's basically, the highlight of our foundation of our year is the end of the season Shootout for Soldiers. This year will be our 8th year. Last year was our 7th. During last event, we were able to pass the $1 million mark as an event on Long Island, something we're very, very proud of, and we're looking to bring it back bigger and stronger.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for spending some time talking about the LI Metro Lacrosse Foundation with us here at halftime. Enjoy the second half, and I'll see you on Friday night.
Thank you, Pete. Good to see you. Thanks very much.
Mike Nelson, the president of the Long Island Metro Lacrosse Foundation, joining us here at halftime with the score is tied, Southside 3, Farmingdale 3. We'll be back with the second half right after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net. For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts,
Thunder, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Farmingdale and Southside tied 3-3. Shots in that first half, Farmingdale with 9, Southside with 14. Saves in that first half, Farmingdale's Danny Seaman with 8, Southside's Tommy Gentile with 6. Loose balls, Southside winning that battle 13-8. It's Michael Melconian of Southside with 5 loose balls leading the Cyclones in that category. You look at the scoring for Southside, all 3 goals scored by a West brother, 2 of them by Brady West, who has 2 goals on 3 shots, and Owen West has his 9th goal of the season. So there you have it. Farmingdale jumped off to the early 2-0 lead. Southside came back to tie. Farmingdale regained the 3-2 lead. And then Southside getting the equalizer before halftime. And that's where we are, right where we started. 3-3 game. Heading into the third quarter. Be joined again momentarily by James Curcio as we get set for the start of this third quarter. Again, it's Craig Mangio and Michael Melconian on the draw at midfield. Mangio has a verbal commitment to Binghamton. And Melconian, a sophomore, still a couple more years of high school lacrosse left for him, and it's a face-off won by Mangio of Farmingdale. And it's the Dalers who will have it first here to start this third quarter. It's Tommaso Ramos on the far side. And Kyle Wilson. And now Chris Bergerson, who had a goal in the first half.
You saw Farmingdale come out strong in the first half.
Ball skips behind the goal and away from Ryan Woodland, and a turnover, and Southside will take over their first possession of the second half. And it's Logan Kelly. Gets it back to Gentile. And now Kelly will take it to midfield.
Southside with a good clear. They took their time.
Oh, they did a nice job there by Brady West to stay onside. And he gets it to Meyerhofer, Jack Meyerhofer on the far side. And now Brady West in the middle. Cole DiPietro, excuse me. Steve DiPietro, the head coach, told me at the beginning of the season, I asked him, how do you pronounce your last name? Because I've heard people call it different ways. And he said, his family you can call either way. So we'll just go with DiPietro. And here's his son, Cole.
And Cole's been creating a lot of offense for Southside.
And his shot was hampered from behind, and it's a turnover. Farmingdale came away with it, but now we got a flag comes down there in the corner as they fight for the loose ball. And let's see, Farmingdale picks it up, so it's going to be a foul, a penalty on Southside. And to the middle of the field is Chris Bergerson. Bergerson on a delay penalty call on Southside.
Farmingdale has numbers if they can look. It looked like they just missed it. They had Ramos.
Trevor Gayron heads back to the defensive side of the field, and Farmingdale goes to work here with Kyle Wilson. Wilson takes it, throws it in behind the goal. Now on the near side to Bergerson. And now Tommaso Ramos. Ramos has a verbal commitment to Stony Brook this fall.
Another commitment
for
next Farmingdale.
I'm sorry, he's a junior, so not this fall, the following fall.
Farmingdale's got commits all over the field.
And we got the whistle, and we're going to get the penalty call here. And I think that was a 1-minute penalty that's being called on Southside. And that is Michael Aiello who's going to serve the penalty. And it looks like that's going to be Matt Cangelosi, who starts it out here for the Dalers as they go man up. Coming up on 9 minutes to go third quarter. The game is tied at 3.
We haven't seen Woodland get a shot off in a little while, so I would expect one of these man-up plays to be designed for him to get the ball on his stick.
He just had it, gets it over to Bergerson on the near side. Now in behind the goal. Now here's Agers to Woodland.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to run it to Woodland. They're going to go into their next set now, starting off in a 3-3.
Woodland. Now to Kyle Wilson. Agers behind the goal. In front, ball comes loose, and it's flipped on net. And right into the stick of Tommy Gentile.
Yeah, Hickes flipped it up quick. He had a chance at the corner there.
And now Farmingdale on the steal again. And it's Bolello who will start it out here for the Dalers.
Bolello's been great for them on all the ground balls and helping in the clearing game.
Now Cangelosi. As the penalty is over, Aiello back on. Cangelosi on the near side for Farmingdale.
And I know there hasn't been too many goals yet, 3-3, but I mean, this has been an exciting game because you have that chess match, that back and forth, who's going to strike next type of game.
Brendan O'Keefe with it now. I was going to say for a 3-3 game,
it feels like it's been action-packed.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of action in this game for a 3-3 game.
There's a lot going on that we're able to see up here, the little chess match between the coaches and stuff like that, so it's great.
O'Keefe on the right side, in behind the goal. And here is Agers. Cangelosi.
Guess who's on defense right now? Lazito.
Lazito, and also the long stick there, Schwartzberg, is in front of the net, taking up some space.
Lazito's just got to force him underneath and just do his job.
Here is Cangelosi. Cangelosi headed towards the slot, far side for Woodland. And there's a shot that trickles towards the goal line, and it goes in. I think that was Hickes, James Hickes, who fired that shot on the side of the net, and it found its way across the goal line. And for Hickes, his second goal of the game, it gives Farmingdale a 4-3 lead.
And for Lazito, it's a little bit heartbreaking because he's playing great defense on the ball. They just do a little bit of a pop with Woodland. He gets the attention of two guys, and someone slips underneath and is able to finish. And that was Hickes, actually, with the slip and finish.
Gentile had a piece of it. Somehow it just found its way by him and right across the goal line. So Farmingdale strikes first here in the third quarter to take a 4-3 lead.
And this face-off matchup has been back and forth today, too. It hasn't been one way for either team, so.
Melkonian wins that one from Mangio.
Yeah,
and we
gonna
got another flag comes in here. It's going to be another penalty on Southside. And now the tempers are going to flare a little bit.
I'm not sure if you know, Pete, but these two teams really don't like each other that much.
you could have fooled me.
Yeah. You think about it, you have Farmingdale, who's kind of, the center part of Long Island. Southside's a little bit more South Shore, so it's two different attitudes for sure.
And the official's going to sort this one out here.
Farmingdale's attack did a good job getting involved in that ride coming up. It's just the stick came high and hit him in the head. So this is a good call by the officials.
They're calming down, Patrick Erickson a little bit back there too, number 3. Couldn't tell if he was in that initial scrum, but they're doing their best to calm him down a little bit. Pat Mullen just went over to him and said something to him to calm him down. So I don't know if that's where the initial penalty comes from. But right now, standing in the box for Farmingdale is Hickes.
And I think they called it a 1 minute, and DiPietro doesn't want the 1 minute, he wants 2. So that's why he's a little upset.
I would have thought the initial penalty was on Southside, but no, it was on Hickes. So it's Southside to the man up. Near side here is Michael Aiello, and they work it around. Up top, Mindel. There's a shot, score!
Guess who? Mr. West.
That was Brady West. He finishes off the hat trick. His third goal of the game, 14th of the season. And just like that, on the man up, Southside ties the game at 4.
This is a really nice shot by Brady West. He actually brings the stick back and then changes where he's going to shoot it. He brings it up high like he's almost going to go down with it, and then goes sidearm, a little bouncer. That's a tricky shot by Brady West.
And he beats Danny Seaman to tie this game at 4 with 6:17 to go in the third quarter.
And that's the other reason the score is low. It's not bad offenses. It's great offensive possessions and teams finishing on those possessions.
Here's Aiello off the ensuing draw that was won by Melkonian again. Aiello with some room. Slows it down with Venko. The Southside has been able to answer 3 times in this game. Down by 2 and down by a goal twice. They've come back to tie. Mindel.
Farmingdale's defense has some great athletes and great defenders, so I'd like to see them get out and get a little bit aggressive and put some pressure on these Southside guys. And they're a little bit younger, so you see how physical they're willing to get and how they handle it. There you see some pressure creating a turnover.
Yeah. Owen West had it taken away by Anthony Bilello, and back comes Farmingdale. And another steal. And now it's Southside back the other way.
Good check.
And let's see, a timeout is called here by Southside. That last goal by Brady West for Southside, it's his third of the game. Second one that was set up by Andrew Mindel. And a timeout on the field with 5:12 to go in this third quarter, and we are tied at 4. And players to watch for Southside, and here's Brady West. He's got the hat trick. He was one of our players to watch. And he's got 3 goals in the game. Melkonian's done a great job at the faceoff dot, and Luke Schwartzberg, long stick midfielder, has done a great job today. So those were 3 players to watch, and all 3 making an impact on this game.
Yeah, the Cyclones are swishing and dishing because they're scoring off assists. They're not playing isolation ball or dodging one-on-one and getting their goals. They're running their offense, and they're able to capitalize on it.
So after the timeout, you get back to action with 5:12 left in the third quarter. Southside will have it. Game is tied at 4. Southside has never led in this game. They have trailed 3 times and have come back to tie on each occasion. We'll see if they can take the lead for the first time.
That's another great timeout by Coach DiPietro in the unsettled situation. You just had a nice offensive possession, and now you're going to get the chance to get another one. And maybe it's the coach and me giving credit to the coaches, but this is these are 2 staffs that know what they're doing, and they're ready for the big-time game.
Jack Meyerhofer to Cole DiPietro. And now there's Brady West, who's got 3. Cole DiPietro looks to get something going here. Gets away from a check. Fires one right on. And Danny Seaman goes down to make the save and distribute. And Farmingdale quickly back the other way.
That shot was a little deep for DiPietro.
Tommaso Ramos to Gayron. And now Kyle Wilson. And gets it back from Gayron. Now Kyle Wilson. O'Keefe takes a run down the right side. Away from the marking of Meyerhofer. Now Meyerhofer still on him behind the goal. O'Keefe circling. Now it's Eagers, side of the cage, behind the goal. Back to O'Keefe.
Good defense by Meyerhofer.
Ramos straight up. Now runs to the right. Ramos goes in behind the goal. Now O'Keefe on the left side. And Kyle Wilson. Good D. Southside just not giving Farmingdale much room here. And O'Keefe down the near side.
Ooh, Southside got caught ball watching there for a second. That was Kelly that just they caught his eyes a little too long. They had a chance there.
Coming up on 3 minutes to go in the third. Here's a shot. Score! Ryan Woodland gets his second goal of the game and 18th of the season, and Farmingdale takes the 5-4 lead. So the senior captain strikes here.
Yeah, it was a great shot by Woodland. He actually goes stick side on him, but that kind of just shows you what kind of power he has on his shots and what kind of player he is. But if Farmingdale is going to be able to pull away here and get the win, they're going to have to get the ball to him a little bit more on offense. 6'5", 200 pounds on a high school lacrosse field is someone that you want to put the ball in their hands often.
Farmingdale head coach Mike Hungerford telling me during the week, Ryan Woodland, one of the best Farmingdale offensive players that the school has seen in a decade.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe what the coaches say, unlike everyone else.
So you don't subscribe to this term of coach speak?
No, not necessarily. Coach Hungerford definitely knows what he's doing.
Because I've covered sports for 33 years, and I can tell you the coach speak exists.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. But if Coach Hungerford says something, he's seen his fair share of lacrosse, so I believe it. I think he's an Ithaca graduate, too, so he played in the Empire 8.
Oh, what a play by Patrick Erickson to dodge that steal attempt. And he's able to get all, but it's a pass that gets away from Owen West on the far side and out of bounds, and it's going to kick back over to Farmingdale. My apologies, he was looking for Ryan Meyerhofer there in the corner.
Now, Pete, this is another important part of the game. You got 2:20 left in the quarter. So if you're Farmingdale, you can get a nice possession, even call a timeout, and hold for the last shot. Try and get that 2-goal lead going into the fourth.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go, and here's O'Keefe. Successful clear here for Farmingdale. And O'Keefe. They're slowing it down here, looking for that last shot. And kind of brings me to something I saw on Twitter earlier today. Maybe you saw the same thing, but Stony Brook women's head coach Joe Spallina tweeted something about there needs to be a shot clock in high school lacrosse, that it should, come together with what we've seen in college and in the pros. I'll get your thoughts on that in a second. He makes some great points. Obviously, he's the father of Joey Spallina and going off to Syracuse next year, the Mount Sinai great. But as Southside comes back the other way on the turnover.
Don't forget Brian and Jake, too.
I know. It's like a factory over there in that house.
The trilogy, yeah.
But is it time for high school lacrosse to have a shot clock?
I could see it both. I think it'll work out either way, because obviously the players here are very good, so they can adjust to any style of game. I would love to see it because it changes the pace of the game completely. You prevent teams from holding the ball, but you also take out a little bit of strategy too. You take away the shot clock, and it's going to make whatever gap there is right now between the top and the bottom of conferences, it might make that gap a little bit bigger, as opposed to maybe trying to make it a 6-5 game. That's a little strategy right now, especially at Deer Park. We kind of have that. We try and hold the ball and win some possessions, and that's a winning battle for us. So either way, I think it's good, though. I mean, more possessions on offense, more high scoring. So
it is a fascinating conversation. Southside with 20 seconds to go. And taken down was Mindel.
Yeah.
And we've got a penalty marker that is down. And Farmingdale is going to be man down here in the latter part of the third quarter. And Southside, down by a goal, will be up by a man with a chance to tie.
And he was in his hip just a little bit too much, and they're going to get him for the push. Now, the other thing to keep in mind, if Southside has the ball, they'll start the fourth quarter with possession, and they'll start man up.
There'll be no face-off.
No face-off. Now, if Farmingdale can put a little bit of pressure, but what kind of risk are they willing to take right now?
The Southside with 10. And there's Owen West on the far side. And there's Mindel. 2 seconds. They're just going to hold it. They're just going to hold it here, and they're going to take the ball to start the fourth quarter. And we've reached the end of the third quarter with the score, Farmingdale 5, Southside 4. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network. The best action shots and the best angles look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. Peter Schwartz, James Curcio back at Farmingdale High School. We head to the fourth quarter with Farmingdale up 5-4. Ryan Woodland has the go-ahead goal for Farmingdale, and he is a member of the 2022 Newsday Top 100. And there's a look at him. Came into the game with 16 goals and 5 assists. You can tack on 2 more, and he's got 18. Outstanding player going to Hofstra.
Hofstra is getting a good one in Woodland. All day in Southside, whenever he's able to step into a shot and get his hands free, he can obviously finish. Like I said a little bit earlier, 6'5", 200 pounds, you don't see on a high school lacrosse field all that often. That's also why he's going to Hofstra, and I'm sure Coach Tierney is excited to get him.
And you just saw the go-ahead goal, Woodland's second of the game, that gave them the 5-4 lead heading to the fourth quarter. Some more stats to pass along. Farmingdale with 11 successful clears to Southside's 9. And right now the face-off battle, Southside's Michael Melkonian outdueling Craig Mangio of Farmingdale 7-3.
Starting to make a little bit of separation on face-offs.
So they switch sides now. Southside will go from right to left here in the fourth quarter. Mindel up top. A man-up situation here for Southside here to start the fourth quarter as they look for the tying goal.
Southside comes out in a 3-3. To start, penalties released now. All even.
Mindel up top. And Michael Aiello. Aiello and Mindel playing pitch and catch. And now here's Owen West on the left side.
Young West.
Young West. And he has got Ramos on him in the corner. Battle of number twos. Pass behind the net for Mindel. In front, there's a shot by Aiello. It's a save and goes off into the corner.
Owen and Brady tried to work that brother-to-brother combination. Brady was coming around the net. Good job by Farmingdale.
Michael Aiello. Far side of your screen there. It's away from Gayron. Up top, Mindel. Brady West. Pass is deflected, loose side of the cage. They fight for it. It's picked up. And a shot by Ryan Meyerhofer is a save by Seaman. Ball squirts out to the far side, and Farmingdale's got it. With Jordan Smeichel getting it across the line, and now the Dalers will go to work. Nice play there by Jordan Smeichel to clear the ball. And now Bergerson. Farmingdale has not had a 2-goal lead since it was 2-0. They were up 2-0, 3-2, 4-3, and now 5-4. Southside has never led in this game. Ryan Woodland.
Interesting, too. You got Erickson, who's a lefty for Southside, covering Woodland, who's a lefty. A lot of the times you put your best righty on the lefty attackman, so kind of just shows you what they think of Erickson.
Kyle Wilson was strolled down the right side. Woodland. Woodland moving to his left. Shakes Erickson. Now Schwartzberg went after him as well. Here's Ramos. And Hickes, who's got 2 goals. And now Kyle Wilson, watched by Mindel.
Good defense. Just got to stay low, keep them outside that hash.
And steering them away from the goal, but swinging around in front was
good double
Wilson,
team.
And the
Erickson.
ball is knocked away.
Good double team by Erickson. Right when he turned his back and he saw the numbers in the back of his helmet, he went to the ball.
Ball squirts towards Gentile, who smothers it. And Southside with a big stop there, down by a goal. And possessions and stops so important in what has been a very low-scoring but
action-packed.
And even an impactful game. And we've seen impact from a lot of different players in this game. And you almost want to think that a 2-goal lead right now might be your ball game.
Yep, 2 goals might be enough with the way these teams play. I mean, they control the game. They get a nice possession, and then they go finish it.
Brady West has a hat trick, looking for more. On the near side, holds it up. Here's Cole DePietro.
DePietro's shifty, man. I really like the way he plays.
Stopped on a dime there, shook it back. Owen West now with the ball. In front to brother Brady, and a backhanded shot went wide, and Farmingdale's going to get the ball back here.
I don't mind the shot. I like the creativity, and I think he was just in the wrong position to do it. He had to be a little bit closer towards the crease. He was kind of out on the hash there.
Now Danny Seaman, the goaltender, bring it up himself and lobs it into the offensive zone, and now the Dalers will go to work. It's Ramos.
And Ramos has been on both ends of the field today, so he's a big-time midi for them, back and forth.
Now here's O'Keefe. And the Dalers with a 1-goal lead, trying to get a little insurance here. Agers on the far side. Agers in front, fires a shot,
Yep.
he scores!
Good play.
Jack Agers gets his first of the day, his 10th of the season, and it's Farmingdale up by 2, and it's 6-4.
That's great offense. Tough to defend those low picks.
Look at it again. He got a little help from his friends, got some space.
Gets his hands free from 7 yards. Yeah, that's all you need now, especially with the way the kids play now. I mean, you need just one move to get your hands free and get a shot on net.
7:18 to go. And it's 6-4 Farmingdale, and now Southside really, if they had a hill to climb before, now it's a mountain.
Big face-off for Southside, but they've had success at the X, so that might be what keeps them in this game.
Melkonian and Mangio again, and we've got a violation on Mangio, so it'll be Southside with the ball, and they need a goal in the worst way on this possession. Brady West. A hit from Joseph Bleck. Now Cole DePietro. We haven't mentioned Joseph Bleck too much today, the second of the two long stick midfielders for Farmingdale, but he's a junior and he's a tough player, uncommitted right now, but according to Mike Hungerford, he's got some D1 potential.
He's going to have a chance to show it because he was just covering Brady West before, and I'm sure he's going to draw a DiPietro at some point too.
And here is Cole DePietro. Here's Mindel. Fires one, wide of the mark, but it's going to stay with Southside as Brady West was right there on it. Brady West up top. DePietro shot save by Danny Seaman. A big save there.
Just a little far out. He's had 2 shots today that just looked a little deep for him, but as far as creating offense, he's done it all for Southside. So
Matt Piantorno is able to make the clear to O'Keefe. Shame on me for not mentioning Piantorno enough. A junior that's uncommitted, but an outstanding defender for this Farmingdale team. The third Piantorno to start on defense for Farmingdale High School. And the Dalers with the ball on offense. Cangelosi.
And he's comfortable back there because he's a former attackman. So him with the short stick right now, he's not feeling any pressure.
And he's just stalling for a little bit of time. Mindel's keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, if I'm them and they're not pressing out, Coach Hungerford is going to just have him stay back there until they call him for a stall, and he'll hold it for 2 minutes. He doesn't care.
Now Mindel goes after him a little bit. Closing in. That ball might have shaken loose there for a moment. But now O'Keefe's got it for the Dalers behind the goal. And now Schwartzberg has the long stick on him.
O'Keefe's a younger player, too. I think he was on varsity last year, but he was the only freshman on varsity. So as a sophomore, he's got a little bit of experience with the team.
O'Keefe thought about heading out in front. Thought something else now goes behind the goal. Schwartzberg's on him.
Yeah, see, now the referees are going to start to get attention. And if they don't go to the net, I would say within the next 30 seconds, they'll probably call him for a stall. See right there.
And now they double team and they jar the ball loose, and Southside comes away with it.
Good play by Southside. In these situations, you usually get an opportunity for a little transition.
Erickson gets it to Schwartzberg, who will cross the midfield line. And now Southside down by 2 and approaching 4 minutes to go. A big possession for them.
Yeah, if you're Southside and you can attack before Farmingdale gets all their poles and their subs in, it's almost good. I mean, time is winding down here, so whenever you can catch them off guard and attack, it's going to help.
Now Brady West holding it in the midfield area. Took a shot from Smeichel. Brady West stopping. Now to Billy Moore. And there's a shot by Jack Meyerhofer, and it's gobbled up by Seaman.
Same thing. Meyerhofer's shot is just a little deep.
Yeah, they have to get
inside
better
on
shots.
Seaman.
You're down
yeah.
by 2 with a few minutes to go. They need a better shot selection.
And it's not just any goalie. I mean, it's Danny Seaman, and obviously as a top 100, Newsday top 100 guy, you know he's going to make those outside saves.
Bergerson down the right side. And again, a chance here for Farmingdale to chew some time off the clock.
And I think I saw a flag go out on Southside also.
Dan Capitelli is out there now for Southside.
This is going to just turn into a little cat and mouse game, and Farmingdale's going to hold the ball for as long as they can and make Southside come out and get him.
Capitelli trying to stick that ball away from Bergerson.
If you're Southside, you got to send somebody now to either at least get a pull on the ball. And they send somebody.
There's Woodland.
Oh.
Woodland lost it. Oh, there's a turnover. And Southside has some life. But let's see, there's a whistle. Southside thought for a moment there that they might have come up with a turnover. And now the officials are talking about it. Let's see. This is going to be a call against Southside. It looks.
If you're Southside, you obviously need the ball back. I would try and do something, some pressure right off the whistle and catch Farmingdale off guard. If you let them start moving the ball around and you need defenders to run across the field, it's going to take up too much time.
So it's going to be a penalty on Owen West. He's sitting in the penalty box, the penalty area. And Ryan Woodland will start it out.
Yeah, I would come out and play a little bit of pressure. You almost want to force them to feel like they have to score.
It was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Owen West. That was the call.
That's rough.
Right side, Ryan Woodland. Now in the corner, they work it around. Now behind the goal to Agers. Agers gets it back. Farmingdale really in no hurry, but they work it around. Again, Woodland. 2 minutes to go. And a 6-4 Farmingdale lead. In a battle of the unbeatens, where one team is going to suffer their first loss of the season. And we've got a violation on Farmingdale. It'll go over to Southside.
In and out. Inside 2 minutes. Can't go in the box and then step out of the box.
And here's a turnover. Costly turnover here by Southside. Let's see, do they get it back? It's still loose middle of the field. And Farmingdale comes through with Woodland. And immediately we're going to have a timeout here. The Farmingdale player goes down to the ground. Patrick Erickson knocking someone down. And we've got 1:40 to go in this fourth quarter. And a 6-4 lead for Farmingdale. And Farmingdale looks like they're going to have the ball.
A minute 40 left. Southside has got to double team the ball. You can't come out and just play regular defense. You have to double team the ball, put it on the ground, and leave yourself enough time to score 2 goals.
Well, this has been as advertised, this game here today. We've got more great lacrosse coming up this week here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Tomorrow, girls action at 6 o'clock. Number 2, St. Anthony's, and number 4, Manhasset. And then on Thursday morning, Bagels and Lacrosse right here on Varsity Media Sports Network for Kellenberg and Syosset boys lacrosse. And we'll serve breakfast for you again on Saturday, 11 o'clock face-off for West Islip and Bayport Blue Point boys lacrosse. So 3 more great games coming up here on Varsity Media Sports Network. So to reset, as you see on the bottom of your screen, 6-4 Farmingdale, 1:40 to go. It's Farmingdale ball. And we fully expect Southside to be very aggressive here to try and pressure the ball and get that potential turnover.
I would double team the ball right away. If not right away, I would send a double team after the ref blows a whistle. We've done it before. It's a little sneaky, but I mean, right now you need the ball. A minute 40 left, and they're in this game. I mean, a minute 40 is a lot of time, even for 2 goals. So you're in it. You just got to come out and execute here. Double team right on.
Farmingdale on the restart.
Erickson, you just can't let him go that way to his left.
Here's Woodland. Speeds down the right side, goes behind the goal. Schwartzberg with the long stick is on him, along with Erickson. It's out in front, and Wilson had an open chance at the net, but he chose to take it back behind. He draws a penalty on south side as we approach 1:10 to go. Wilson behind the goal. Gets pressure from Gentile, the goalie. And now, Southside desperate. They're going to be down a man. Woodland has it up top. And that may have been the nail in this game.
I mean, there's still a lot of time left. Southside's kind of just packing it in. I mean, I know they got the penalty, but...
And you hear the Farmingdale fans whooping it up a little bit with 35 seconds to go. Ferguson behind the goal. Another flag comes in. Another hard hit. And again, the tempers may be flaring here again. And maybe it's just a little frustration on the part of Southside.
Southside was in it, man. They had some good chances. Farmingdale just came out, and at the end of the day, they executed a little bit better down the stretch.
So 30.5 seconds to go. And a 6-4 lead for Farmingdale.
I like this Farmingdale team in Nassau County to make some noise when this playoffs comes, for sure.
And I don't think we've heard the last of Southside either.
No,
Because,
no.
This was a 4-4 game in the second half, and Farmingdale just did a little bit more, just executed a little bit better down the stretch, got that insurance goal, which was very, very important.
And Southside only has 6 or 7 seniors, so this team is not really going anywhere.
Very young team, and still capable of doing some great things in Nassau County this year. Less than 30 seconds to go. Ryan Woodland.
Smart play by Woodland. He ran it all the way down the sideline to get into the box.
Schwartzberg knocked it loose, and he forced the turnover.
Yeah.
So maybe one last ditch effort here. Quickly by Southside. They fire it to Mindel. It goes out of bounds. It's going to go right back over to Farmingdale, and that may just about do it with 17 seconds to go. Bilello inbounds. Ramos with 10 seconds. And the battle of the unbeatens is going to go to the home team. And the game is over, and Farmingdale improves to 6-0 as they beat previously unbeaten Southside by a score of 6-4.
Awesome game. Awesome game with Southside and Farmingdale. And I'm telling you, this Farmingdale team, just between the players that they have and the coaching staff that they have, you could see it a little bit today. They're definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with, and obviously Southside, they did a great job too. It was a great game.
Let's thank everybody that helped us out with the broadcast. Obviously, thanks to both head coaches, Steve DiPietro of Southside and Mike Hungerford, the head coach of Farmingdale. Thanks to Mike Nelson, who joined us at halftime. Thanks to our crew, Director Abraham Navish Jr., cameraman Nick Costa, and Safi Paris. And to show you that nepotism is at an all-time high, our statistician was Bradley Schwartz. So for James Curcio, I'm Peter Schwartz. Reminding you our final score, Farmingdale 6, Southside 4. You've been watching the Varsity Media Sports Network. Have a great day, everyone.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.